Nigeria has over the years applied a multi-pronged approach to dealing with activities of terrorists and other criminal elements in the country. In the wake of their activities lie losses of lives and property, with their implications and suddenly global attention. Is not Nigeria following the designation of the country by U.S. President Donald Trump's administration as a country of particular concern? And today we shall be addressing the big elephant in the room. What is Nigeria's policy direction for addressing these concern that is on the front burner globally? My name is Leah Katung Babatunde, and you're welcome to the Policy with Leah. As always, we start the business of the day from the trends table.
President Bola Tinubu has pledged his administration's resolve to deepen global engagement and intensify the fight against terrorism and criminality. The president, who spoke shortly at the Federal Executive Council meeting, acknowledged the scale of the security and economic challenges confronting the nation and assured the government remains firmly committed to moving the country forward under the renewed hope agenda despite prevailing political and security pressures.
The task ahead is immense. We are engaging the world diplomatically, and we assure all of you that we will, defeat terrorism.
The president's comments came in the wake of U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to send U.S. forces into Nigeria if authorities do not stem what he described as the killing of Christians by Islamists. President Bola Tinubu has sought the approval of the National Assembly to borrow 1.15 trillion naira from the domestic debt market to finance part of the deficit in the 2025 national budget. The request is the latest in a series of borrowing plans presented by the executive to sustain government programs amid tightening fiscal space. According to the president, the fresh borrowing will bridge the funding gap and ensure the full implementation of government programs and projects under the 2025 fiscal plan. Nigeria's $2.35 billion Eurobond launch during the week attracted more than $13 billion subscription, the country's all-time high global subscription to an offer. The federal government offered two tranches of 10-year and 20-year Eurobonds maturing in 2036 and 2046 to the international capital markets. The issue is made up of $1.25 billion 10-year Eurobond and $1.10 billion 20-year Eurobond. The National Pension Commission (PENCOM) and the National Insurance Commission (NICOM) have jointly directed insurance companies in Nigeria to suspend all business dealings with employers that fail to comply with statutory pension and insurance obligations in what they described as a bold push to strengthen financial discipline and protect workers' benefits. The regulator said the directive marks a new phase of enforcement designed to close compliance gaps and reinforce accountability across the nation's corporate sector. They said in a circular that insurance firms and their business partners must now ensure full compliance with the provisions of the Pension Reform Act (PRA) 2014 and the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act (NIRA) 2025.
Next is our policy conversation that targets addressing the activities of terrorists and other criminal elements in the country. Global attention turned to Nigeria at the start of the month of November after U.S. President Donald Trump accused the country of systemic genocide against Christians and also indicated intentions to intervene if the authorities didn't do anything about it. But then, How can Nigeria turn the curve? Joining me for this conversation is Mr. Simon Reef Musa. He is a columnist and member of the Nigerian Guild of Editors who serves as a media consultant to the Lisbon-based International Dialogue Center and promoted the formation of the Interfaith Dialogue Forum for Peace and led also the media efforts to understand the dialectics of crisis, often described as heather farmers clashes in the northwest and north central zones of the country. It's nice to have you join me, Mr. Musa, for this conversation.
Thank you very much. Honestly, I'm very happy meeting you for the first time on this your program. Very, very interesting.
Yes, for starters, we've had this understanding that over time these crises have spread across most especially the northern region of the country. But then you find that we talk about them, we go to sleep, and the cycle continues. Let's have an understanding from you. How did we get here?
That's a very beautiful question. I'm happy of having this opportunity because I was a media consultant to the International Dialogue Center that led to the formation of the Interfaith Dialogue Forum for Peace. And their primary focus is to promote intercultural, interreligious unity. Anywhere there is crisis, they try to see what I can. Because I even traveled to Vienna on a conference where 13 religions of the world assembled, and it opened my eyes to so many things. Now, coming back to the crisis, the North has always been the heartbeat of Nigeria because it has the capacity to build consensus among the various sections. So when that consensus fails, then you have a problem. And with the advent of politics, we've had over 25 years of unbroken politics in this country. And that 25 years have led to so many dynamics and dialectics that has made the North a theater of violence. As a consultant, as a media consultant to the International Dialogue Center and later to the IDFP, which I left some 5 or 6 years ago, we visited about 5 states. I will tell you that we had the last conversation with the Agwam Adara when we visited. He had his last event was with the IDFP. And he told us certain things. We never knew that within less than 48 hours after having that interaction, he would be killed. Now, the North is experiencing what it's experiencing because we've allowed politics. I speak to you like this authoritatively because I've lived almost all my life in Sokoto State. 30 years. I've lived in Sokoto State. I've lived in Zamfara. That's where I had my secondary school. And I also live in Kebbi, Birnin Kebbi. I did my primary school in Silami. So I'm knowledgeable with all things that happen at the optics that normally, that surround those areas. Now, the worst thing that has ever happened to the North is deploying religion for political dominance. That is the worst thing that has ever happened. In Sokoto, there was there is struggle between the Fulanese and the Hausa over resources. The Fulani will tell you that, well, when we go and do something, the Hausa, because they are the chiefs, they do certain things, and they take us to the police station, they kind of collaborate with the police, and they force us to sell our cows. At the end of the day, we don't even have money. So we have nothing than to go into banditry. In Benue particularly, it was all about resources, about resource control. I come from the part where you have this Laduga grazing reserve. It was something that was done in the First Republic. And the whole essence was to create a place where people can come and graze their animals. It was not meant for a particular ethnic group. Any Nigerian from anywhere, you graze, but you pay a particular sum of money. One key thing about that grazing reserve was that there should not be homes no houses was allowed to be built. It was just a grazing reserve. But go there now. They have made a desertification of the entire place. Falling of woods. A lot of criminality is going on. And because it's my central area, there was this particular day I went there and I saw a lady, she was screaming because somebody has come to graze on her crops. She was crying. And I asked her, why are you crying, Mama? I said, they came and grazed. I was walking because a full animal was a person taking me. You have to make this. There are criminal groups claiming to be headers. They are not. And it is the business of the authority to sort that. I had the privilege of meeting Malam Nasir El-Rufai for 3 good hours. And I told him one thing. I said, we've been living with Fulani in peace. I went to school with Fulanis, with children of Fulani. The Aruga was a favorite venue for us in the night to go and play and come back. Then suddenly we are invaded by foreign Fulanis that are not only killing us, they are also killing their own fellow. And the incapacity or the refusal of relevant authorities to act decisively kind of empower and emboldens the criminals.
I'm sure you've met some of these victims. Yeah. What is the feeling like on their part?
Government is not supporting the victims in the past. Because I know in our trip to Plateau, we met victims who were driven by these invaders from their communities. And the owners of that place have not returned to their central homes. They are in IDP camps permanently. Now, there was one particular victim I met, and she told me her story. When she got to the IDP camp, she had her children. No mother will watch her child starve without her doing anything. And so she took the risk by returning to her home. So when she arrived, she saw a lady. She asked the lady, said, "Oh, are you the people staying here?" She said, "Yes." "Okay, it's you people, our people drove you away." She said, "Yes." She said, "Why are you here? Are you not afraid of death?" I said, "I would rather die than see my children starve to death." That particular lady went into the house and brought food crops for her that they had farmed. I said, "Please, take it to your children."
From her own personal house?
Yes. Say, "I know. Just take it." We have severely made nonsense of the humanity that was part of the North. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm very, very happy that Trump tweeted. And I pray that the global attention being focused on Nigeria should serve as a wake-up call on all citizens, on government, on members of the National Assembly that are sleeping partners. They are just sleeping. I don't see any good thing that those people are doing. They are only thinking of themselves as long as they are there. They are not talking of what do we do to save this country. I've said it several times. The problem of this country, you resolve it right here in the North. I tell you this in 2000, not just far, just about 25 years ago, when the Sharia riots happened. My uncle was staying in Angwantusa. And we had people who had come for the burial of my father. In the next flat is a Muslim neighbor from Katsina. So when it happened, we took the decision, what do we do? So the neighbor saw old women striking. He said, "No, Leah Musa, what is this?" He said, "They are running." He said, "No, let them come to my house." He kept them there for 5 days. When they came, he said, "Get away from here." Poverty has eaten up the North. The Northern character is that of kindness, is that of humanity. I school in government secondary school, Bungudu in Zamfara State. My principal is the present emir of Tafe. We live in love. We were less than 20 Christians in that school. But we never knew whether you were a Christian, whether you were a Muslim. But politicians and people who don't want us have entered between and kind of put a rift around us and make sure that we don't come together as one. And that is a very big problem.
So looking at the social responsibility that we've placed on security agents, we've seen over time that it's not just about these security agents. We've seen across other occupations, for instance, those who we expect to be first responders when there's an emergency, and then you end up having people just numbered as statistics. Like, we don't place value to the human life here. Is that correct?
The problem of Nigeria today is our mindsets have been transformed to embrace nothing but materialism. We see success. We see the capacity to have financial power as the ultimate. And religious organizations have not helped. Somebody was telling me that a pastor said, well, you want to do a building of okay, come. If you have 10,000 naira, can you just wave your hand, come forward? So many people came, okay, the Lord bless you, go. Okay, is there anybody that can pay 500,000? A few people came. He said, okay, shook hands. Okay, you have 1 million naira. When very few people came, he said, yes. He brought anointing oil and was pouring on their heads. Do you know what that means? We run an oppressive system. Leah, a Nigerian who has car, he wants to show to the world that he has it. And nobody is successful until he's able to oppress. So the Nigerian system is only God that can change the system. I'm telling you.
But I don't think God is going to come down and change the system.
Exactly.
So we need to do that.
Exactly. Now, how do we do it? Yes, Leah may try to stand upright and do certain things, but others, would they be able? And you know what has changed? Access to illicit funds are the basic issue. And it is at the state level. 36 governor waits. At the end of the month, they come to our puja. They collect fact in billions. They return. Anybody that is their enemy, they make sure they suppress him. Anybody that is their friend, they empower him. And that is why the fight for political power is fierce. Ahead of the 2027, we don't need a prophet to tell us. Insecurity will be used as a pointer. But that doesn't mean, even if it's not Tinubu, if it's Peter Obi, you still have the same problem. See, I have supported the president on several of the ideas, but sometimes, especially removal of fuel subsidy, I have consistently said it was done very early. You float your naira. Are you exporting? No, everything is importing. And people have so much access to money that they turn it into dollars. So these are issues, whether you say they are far distance in terms of being related to this. You discover that no, it's a part of survival. Anything that comes to Nigeria, we have shock absorbers to take charge of it. I never knew Nigeria would survive after that removal of subsidy. I never knew.
But we survived it.
But we are surviving it. We are surviving it. All the taxes coming. I said, there's nothing wrong getting those taxes. But we want to see the improvement of the living conditions for Nigeria. I believe the president means well. I wish I can have an opportunity, see him and say, no, you mean about this. Because the man is surrounded by enormous challenges. We thank God this time, Christians have been treated fairly, whether you like it or not. And so when anybody comes with that, we say, hey, even the Muslims are complaining that Tinubu has given appointment over 62% or 64% to non-Muslims. And to them, they are the one. Even in the current fight over genocide or no genocide, there are so many groups that are angling to realize that they fulfill their political listening. I would rather have a Kashim Shettima as vice president, Because I can tell you on a very personal, I have never met him. I see what he does. Yes. So what am I trying to say? The people have resorted to religious sentiments. But you know something? Bertolt Brecht said, when the stomach rumbles, it doesn't know the presence of kings. We run a system that, in the north, there are people that are too poor, yes, but there are some forces that always give them something, suppress them. In the ethnic minorities of the north, you know, we have our own dignity. The minority man has a sense of dignity. The worst he can tell us, get out, my friend, are you the one feeding me? And he walks away. So when you try to take away the dignity of the ethnic minority by allowing foreigners, invaders, to take over their lands, and these are people that are largely Christians, in quotes, whether they like it or not. And when the people that are attacking them, when they go there, they will be saying, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. We have never seen an attack on our Muslim brother where he said people went with cross. Do you understand? And that's why I get very, very angry. People, we are talking of killings of Nigeria. How did we get so low to try to justify or to try to silence current voices against those killings? Whether they are genocide, whether they are massacre, whether they are pogrom, the same thing is killings. It was Delegate who said, one person killed in cold blood is a pogrom. In law, it's better to set 99% guilty, free, than to sentence an innocent person. That tells you that a society that does not protect that single person cannot be trusted to protect the others.
I would want you to speak really to that concern, how Nigerians portray their country is exactly what outsiders will also leverage to inform their decision or choices about the country. I would want you to speak about that.
Let me tell you. Now to demarcate your country, there are certain people that use that to get access to what they want to achieve in life. We have a problem of getting critical stakeholders that will have a buy-in in the Nigerian dream. If I ask you, what is the Nigerian dream? Do we have a dream? It is a conglomeration of federating units, everybody fighting to get what you can get. We do that as if we know that the country will not survive. When you demarcate your country in the eye of the world, you are a despicable citizen. And we have them many. You can blame them. I know I go and stand up in one door like this. If I say, what's your name? Say, my name is Simon Reef. Musa say, no, we don't want him. Even in the north. In 1987, I applied to read mass communication. I went there to collect my letter, say, no, you are from the wrong place. I was told I was from the wrong place. Then I knew that I bear on me a mark. But it's for you, or it's for me to agree, or to rise up beyond that. Today I'm a member of the Nigerian Guild of Editors. You deny me mass communication, I went and read English, and I'm doing what I'm doing. So I think our confidence, there's a way you should look at certain things to understand. This country sometimes is choking. It's not even after you've gotten all the certificates. There will still be some monstrous forces that will ensure that you don't get there because you belong to one particular religion, because of one particular tribe. Let me also tell you, even the ethnic concepts, some of us that are the minorities of minorities, they oppress us more than the big tribes. Let me tell you, that's the truth. I'd like to bring it home for you because I'm not afraid to say certain things. I'm from a very small, minute ethnic group in Southern Kaduna.
Many people are very few.
Very, very few. But we have also been dealt with by the government system. You know what? They cut a part of me, of our people, and gave them to Kauru. They cut another part of our people and gave them to Kajuru. They cut another part and gave it to Kachia and allowed just a part and say we are just one word. Is that fair? And even within the concept of whether Southern Kaduna, all this sentiment, whatever is, I know that I don't even stand a chance to survive. I stand a chance to survive under an umbrella of a big Nigeria, of a big Kaduna state. Because even if I join in the struggle, when it comes, how
many are they?
How many are they? When the oppression is over, you discover that the oppressor that was farther away is now the oppressor that is nearer you. And that is when the war, the real war will start. We need some system. We need some change in orientation. And people should be able to do that. That will help humanity. Now, Trump says something, and you say America is coming to invade Nigeria. Is their policy, their anti-terrorism, they say that anywhere there are terrorists, they'll go after them. That is their policy. So if you want to protect them, well, that is out for you. So to me, the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should seize the opportunity, meet Trump. And of course, there's something I got. You see, when you don't have an ambassador in a nation, you find out that the other people, lobbyists are there are some agents of it, they will not get the true picture of what is happening. Is whether genocide or pogrom of massacre, what is happening in Nigeria cannot be defended. In my area, in Kaura, 150 were killed in one night. And you tell me that is not genocide? That is not this thing? Yes, under President Tinubu, he doesn't allow for that. We have seen improved security measures, but it's not adequate. The thing that is the big elephant in the room, what is the official policy of Nigerian government on tackling bandits and criminal elements? Do you negotiate with them? Or you don't want to negotiate with them? In America, they don't negotiate with them. But in Nigeria, you find in a way, during the Buhari era, of course.
We've always had that,
the carrot and stick approach.
You
know what? Even our own man, Mala Nasir El-Rufai, I don't know whether he's taking it from a point of a convenience. He said, you cannot negotiate with them because people that are used to having billions or millions, and you are giving them, and you bring out this de-radicalization program. Somebody says, I have repented. You put him. Many soldiers now will tell you, these are the same guys that are shooting from the back. I'm very happy that even the DSS now, they say they have retrenched. They have to do some internal review, checks to know who are those. Because when we are talking of compromising the agencies, we have through the de-radicalization program, bring in people that say that they are repentant. Is there a measurement rod you use to ensure that, oh, this heart of this man, he used to be a thief, but now he's clean up? No. The best is that you keep him somewhere and watch him afar. But it's happening because of politics. I know Tinubu will have done something very well, but he's also aware 2027 is coming. No, 2027 is coming. See, I would rather want Tinubu to do what he wants and make a mark, whether 2027 or 2029, and even if he asks, with what is happening among the parties, where are the opposition? In my southern Kaduna zone, everybody is now holding broom. Everybody is now holding broom. It's true. No. I was somewhere on TV this morning. So I was, there are no ideologies. There are no ideologies. They see that as job. That is where they eat and they drink, and they don't want to change the system.
So it means until we sit down and there's a whole lot of housekeeping we would need to do.
Yes, especially our religious people, both Muslim and Christians.
Thank you.
And that was one very, very key I want to tell. Any partisan form of unity based on religion, culture, it will not work. But there are people that are very bad. They still want to dominate at all costs. They will deploy that. Rankadede can send this, that, all those things. We don't need that. And that's why I'm telling my children, don't think that you go to school, if you are excellent. If Nigeria does not want you, the world will want you.
Thank you. I'll pause you on that. If you're excellent, if Nigeria does not want you, the world wants you. I want to thank you for making our time for this conversation.
Thank you so much.
We move on to our education segment, Simplify This, and from there we take you to the local commodities market. We draw the curtains here. Don't forget that you can catch up with market activities and more on our sister website. It is www.marketnigeriatv.com, and also this episode and every other one is available on YouTube on our channel. The Policy with Leah is of course available for broadcast on our partner stations, Captain TV, Global TV Nigeria, and KSMC News. Don't forget that the duty of a working Nigeria lies in the hands of all citizens. And for Nigeria to develop and move forward, we must look into our concerns as citizens collectively with the view of a nation that needs and must survive against all the trials and prejudices facing it at this point. Until we come your way again same time next week, my name remains Leah Babatunde. God bless Nigeria.